Alright, everybody, so how are we doing today? So, Trump's America First policies are beginning to backfire a lot more than he'd probably be willing to admit. Now, let me show you something. Apparently, China and Russia have agreed to a bilateral trade agreement and are possibly going to end up doing a full-on dollar dump in favor of the yuan and the ruble. This will create a major rival for us in the financial world. Now, I suppose a little healthy competition might force us to try and perform at our absolute best, but at the same time, we could also stand to lose a lot in this sort of deal. I suppose, in a way, this is probably actually beneficial, but it's going to make some enemies, for sure, and we might not want to make enemies of a powerful nation like China. But I knew this was going to happen, and no one listened to me. Russia and China took another step away from the US dollar after the two countries agreed to develop bilateral trade using the ruble and the yuan. It was just one of the major deals reached after the presidents of the two countries, Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping, held talks in Moscow on Wednesday. Russia and China intend to develop the practice of settlements in national currencies. Putin told journalists at the news conference following the talks. He added that the states have signed intergovernmental agreements on expanding the use of the yuan and the ruble in bilateral financial operations. A draft government decree on the national currencies trade was released earlier during the day. The document stipulates that Moscow and Beijing will cooperate on development of national payment systems as well as facilitate cross-border payments in national and other currencies. During the signing ceremony, other major agreements were reached. Russia's state nuclear company, Rosatom, and China Nuclear Power, or CNNP, penned a general contract on building the third and fourth units at Judepu nuclear plant in northeastern China. It was earlier reported that the deal is worth $1.7 billion, and construction is scheduled to begin in October 2021 and August 2022. Good Lord. $1.7 billion. We're losing out on a huge opportunity. Thanks a lot, Trump. And another major deal inked following the high-level talks, the Russian Direct Investment Fund, RDIF, China's Alibaba and Russia's Mail.ru group, agreed to invest a total of $382 million into an e-commerce joint venture. Alibaba Group is to provide some $100 million, while the rest will be funded by the Russian side. The RDIF also signed a deal with China's investment corporation, CIC, to create a joint scientific innovation fund and invest $1 billion into it. We expect that its abilities and activities will make a significant contribution to the development and implementation of the most advanced technologies and solutions for the development of the economies of our countries and the future strengthening of our partnership, RDIF CEO Kirill Dmitriev had said. After the Moscow talks, President Putin and Xi Jinping will depart for St. Petersburg to take part in Russia's key annual business event. Dozens of multi-billion-dollar deals related to energy, industry, and finance are expected to be signed during the St. Petersburg Economic Forum, which runs from June 6th to June 8th. Yeah. This is partly due to Trump and his America First policies. The taxes and tariffs are driving rival countries closer together, united against us. He's stacking the odds, whether he knows it or not. And he's stacking the odds in their favor rather than ours. He's favoring more classical allies, such as Ireland, the UK, Australia, and Germany, in favor of abandoning more modern allies, such as Russia and China. There's a reason why we originally took to adopting those more modern allies. It's because they had more to offer. And the reason why we kept those more classical allies is because it would be shallow and selfish to leave them behind just because they no longer brought anything to the plate. I suppose in Trump's twisted mind, he thinks he knows what he's doing, but to me this seems reckless, stupid, unnecessarily adversarial, and it's creating a potential economic threat to the United States. But you know what? Let's just see where the future takes us. After all, everything we do sends ripples into the future. And I don't think that this is going to be entirely negative, but I can't say that I see anything positive coming out of this. I mean, how could there be anything positive from something like this? This is just... wow. I'm starting to really understand why people say the phrase "fuck Trump." I'm starting to understand it more and more. Anyway,